can't be stopped. No, no, cause I'm in my bag. Yeah, yeah, you can hate me now, cause I'm gonna shine. I can't be stopped. No, no, cause I'm in my bag. Yeah, yeah, you can hate me now, cause I'm gonna shine. I can't be stopped now, face on back on the block now. Too legit to quit, yeah, you can call me
It's your boy
Helen.
Coyote, Crosswinds Productions. We're in the building. Broad and Airy, Black and Nobel. And I'm with your boy El Focus, EL Focus. El Focus, that is, making the next hit. Host. And he's in town, and we're gonna do a little quick interview, throw some questions at him. But the first thing we want you to do, give the people a little bit of background about yourself. You know what I mean? Let them know where you're originally from, and how you actually got into the industry.
Word. Alright, first of all, a little bit of background about myself. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm referred to as El Focus, which is a derivative of the name Elinaja. Elinaja is a derivative of the name Janal, spelled backwards, which is my actual name that my mother gave me, Janal. So that led to Elinaja, that led to El Focus, because in the business, they always say my name is too complicated for people to pronounce. And I'm a little stubborn when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I ain't had no problem with my name. So for a long time, everybody called me Elinaja. Then eventually people started calling me El Focus, just because of my understanding towards, what it takes to get from point A to point B. You gotta have focus and you gotta have discipline. You know what I'm saying? Another name people refer to me as is my actual government name, which is Terry Keller. You know what I'm saying? Which actually we in Hakeem's bookstore, Black and Noble bookstore right now on Erie Avenue. And there's a book in here about Professor Griff, Analytics, chapter 15. If you check that out, you know what I mean? The name that my journalist name, and when I did the book with Professor Griff, is Terry Keller. So altogether, my name is Terry Janal Keller. You know what I mean? Commonly referred to most recently as El Focus. And ErieAve.com, definitely check that out. We on Erie Ave right now. This is actually where I grew up at. This is where I got my soldier training, my warrior training. You know what I'm saying? This is where I spent my teenage years. And there's a much different environment than what it is now, even though a lot of things remain the same. But it was around the time where crack was definitely on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of, even though this was a good neighborhood with a lot of good people, oftentimes people think that crack and all that was the whole hood. It was really just a small minority of the hood where those type of issues we were dealing with that, but it just took over everything eventually, you know what I'm saying? So this neighborhood definitely is going through a lot of change. It's good to see that the bookstore is here and things are being rebuilt, you know what I mean? When I was here, it was a lot of stick-ups, robberies. You barely could walk home from school without getting in some kind of fight, you know what I mean? My initiation into this neighborhood was getting jumped, you know what I'm saying? But I held my own, and the same people that I was fighting with became my homies later on, you know what I'm saying? Because they respected the fact. Oftentimes in this neighborhood, man, if you just kind of showed that you had some kind of heart, man, then you pretty much was good. Because most people who did the robbing and the sticking up and all that, they was good people, but they was hungry, you know what I'm saying? They were in predicaments.
Gotta eat, man.
Right, so oftentimes when you just showed that love and you showed that love for self and that the heart of a warrior, or just a little bit of standing up for yourself, it just went a long way, you know what I mean? It wasn't really as ugly as people make it out to be, but it wasn't necessarily the most prettiest experience in the world neither.
That's what's up. You actually help a lot of local artists get exposure into the industry doing what you do right now.
Right.
Hosting, making the next hit, Young Jeezy's DJ Fahrenheit's event. And you're pretty much the face of the show. So can you give us a little bit of insight on how you're giving the artists that are actually competing in the show exposure?
Well, first of all, I started out just like most of the artists in the competition, you know what I'm saying? We used to walk from Center City all the way back up here to North Philly, and we used to, I want to say, battle everybody in every neighborhood along the way. We used to just walk and just find rap crews and just battle. But battling then was different. Battling then wasn't about putting somebody down or disgracing the next MC. Battling then, we used to just spit just to see who had skills and learn from each other and build with it. So it was a different element. You know what I mean? Cassidy grew up right up the street. He used to love to battle. You know what I mean? major figures, Gilly, all them dudes grew up around here, Chris and Nee from Young Gunners, you know what I'm saying, everybody, you know what I'm saying, was around here. We all kind of crossed paths in some form of fashion, spitting on the corner, you know what I mean, nurturing our skill and things of that nature. So we're making the next
you worked with The Roots at one point.
Everybody, you know what I mean, The Roots, we used to be on South Street with the instruments, you know what I mean?
Scott Storch?
Scott Storch used to, if I remember correctly, Scott was on bass back then? It's hard for me to remember now, but I remember Scott before he started, before he really became Scott Storch. He was, you know, just, you know what I mean, it was a lot of us, man, that just was involved. My man Kenyatta, you know what I'm saying, from this area, you know what I mean, he on the joint Pass the Popcorn on the Roots actual first album, you know what I'm saying, but we all kind of just nurtured each other and cultivated each other, raised each other to the point where we attracted attention from the industry, you know what I mean, and moved out from there.
The next question I'm going to ask you is a little bit personal. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Let's do this, man.
You know, have you smashed any famous chicks?
I'll say it like this, man. Over the course of my lifetime, I've had some beautiful relationships. You know what I'm saying, with some beautiful people. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, but anybody with platinum albums?
Yeah, I've had some beautiful relationships.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, is another personal question. Is there any artist that you just hate? I would ask you if there's any artist that you just love, but we always ask that question.
When me and my peoples, we build it on a personal note when it's just us, no cameras around. Sometimes I'll be like, man, I hate that song, man, I hate him for doing that song. But ultimately, no. Ultimately, you can't be trapped in hate. For a moment, sometimes when some shit get played on the radio, I got my own, I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot in the dope game, I've seen a lot with guns. So when I hear certain shit, of course it brings me back to my man laying in the casket in the funeral. A pregnant mother walking by strung out on crack. So of course my first reaction is I hate that shit, because I'm a warrior and I want to dead all that so we can go to the next level.
Right.
So sometimes I do be like, man, I hate something for putting out that album. Sometimes I speak like that, but ultimately we got to get right back to the love, because if I sit down with these brothers and get to talk to them, they not going to hear me if I be like, I hate you. I got to be able to talk to them. We got to be able to build. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, no, really it ain't nobody that I hate. Sometimes I feel that emotion initially, but it ain't nobody that I hate, because the war is much bigger than any one particular artist.
Yeah, that's decent. Decent answer. Just to get back on making the next hit, how did you even get started in that? How'd you get involved in that project?
It's a long story, but to make a long story short, man, I was on the road with Dawn Robinson from En Vogue and her husband, you know what I mean, working with their company. We went to Miami, South Beach. I got to Miami and was like, I'm done with the tour. I'm not getting back on the bus. My first time in Miami, I loved it so much, I ain't want to go home. You know what I'm saying? And basically, of course I had to keep working. So I started looking for work. So I was hitting up Master P, because we was talking to that's why we went to Miami, because we was meeting Master P down there. So I had hit up Master P's people, you know what I'm saying, because he was working on a thing similar to Making the Next Hit. Long story made short, Making the Next Hit had hit me back. I thought it was Master P's people, and they said come to Philadelphia so we could have this meeting. I got up here and it was the people from Making the Next Hit. I don't even know how we connected, but I was just like, all right, I'm here. It wasn't what I expected, but instead of being disappointed, I'm going to move forward with it. So they introduced me to the people in charge. My man, thanks to my man Don P, he was like, yo, sit down next to me. Brought me right in. We discussed some ideas. I started teaching the artist development classes, started studying under Busy B from the movie Wild Style, first solo MC in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, I jumped on stage and hosted a show one day and never looked back.
A little bit off topic, you have a YouTube video out with Professor Griff doing some vocals, and help me here, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's the Nagast Prophecy.
The Nagast Prophecy.
Right, the Nagast Prophecy.
Right.
Can you let the people know a little bit about that?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to one of the wisest men that I ever had the opportunity to study with, Professor Griff, man. I appreciate your work. I called Griff up one day and asked him, could I do an interview? You know what I mean? He was like, bet. So we did the interview, which led to his book Analytics. chapter 15 of his book Analytics is on the shelf right now. During the course of the interview, we was like, yo, we should turn this into a book. Next thing I know, Griff was calling me like, yo, I'm putting out the book. So it's in here somewhere, Analytics. And I took excerpts from that interview and made a song with it called The Forthcoming of the Nagast Prophecy. The Nagast Prophecy, basically, I watched a DVD called Africans in Asia that talked about the Africans that migrated to Asia and built, built the civilization there and taught the Asians their culture. But they talked about a prophecy called the Nagast Prophecy, the serpent people that would come over to the West, and we would be over here and be lost and confused. You know what I mean? And this was the Nagast Prophecy, which is ultimately where the word nigga comes from. You know what I'm saying? So the song that I recorded is The Forthcoming of the Nagast Prophecy, featuring Professor Griff. It's on YouTube now. My YouTube channel is Mr. Elinaja L, spelled M-R-E-L-I-N-A-J-E-L. Mr. Elinaja L, or just type in Elinaja, E-L-I-N-A-J, or The Forthcoming of the Nagast Prophecy. Nagast is spelled N-E-G-A-S. Forthcoming of the Nagast Prophecy with Professor Griff.
Can you spit a quick 16? I don't mean I'm putting you on the spot, but...
Alright, it's a joint called Evil Ways, man, that goes, I hear the air holding a conversation with the ocean. I see the soul of a spirit heartbroken. I speak for the children that have had their childhood stolen. If I can hear no, see no, speak no evil ways. These are the evilest days where the youngins round the way can barely read half a page, but act twice their age to visit a cage, fitted with rage, adjudicated minimum wage. They living as slaves, they not giving us days or weeks or months, they giving us years, but nobody wants to confront their fears, so nobody cares the lesson I bear. I'm stressing over what I see, speaking here. If I can hear no, see no, speak no evil ways. These are the evilest days where it seems to pay to be gay and act like a slave. If I can hear no, see no, speak no evil ways.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. I want to thank you on behalf of everybody. Right.
Back on the block, your face off, back on the grind, bad boy style. No, you can't tell my shine. No, I ain't gonna lie. Back on the strip, face off, gunna man, we about to flip. Dime to a dollar, dollar to a mill. And only God we trust. Get money is a must till we go back to dust. And we don't give a fuck. Willing to chop them up. Nope, we can't let them breathe. We gotta choke them up. We gotta fix them up. Money on the line, money on my mind. And I'm in my bag.
Ordinary, you know what I'm saying? Where they got the cheesesteaks rocking us. Cheesesteaks.
That's how we do it, man.
I mean,
Right here.
when you in Philly, you gotta have a cheesesteak.
Shout out the name of the joint. Shout out the name of the joint.
Yeah, Texas, and man, you know what the fun thing to do.
Look.
Germantown area, D-A-R-J.
Yeah.
I can't be stopped, no, cause I'm in my
Sometimes you gotta come around people, man, you know what I mean, to really get that essence. You know what I mean?
Man, this how we do it. Yeah, man.
Swings.